Before you sign a deal, you should really research how deals work. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like, before I answer that question, this is the most draining topic for me. So Amplify is in a unique position because we basically have built some careers, or at least, amplified them. So I've been on tours with our artists, gone out to the merch tables and seen people waiting and no artists. Ask the artist why. The artist says, well, I don't own my merch. What's the point? I think throwing money at problems. Artists constantly feel like if they had more money, they would solve their issues. But in music, what I've seen is guys overspend.
This is James Rosseau, a.k.a. Trig, and let me welcome you to the CoreLink Solutions Show. All right, y'all, welcome back to the Inside View. If you've never been here before, it's myself, Trig, CEO of Holy Culture, and Doc Watson, co-CEO of RMG. If you're not familiar with RMG, it's the home of Breno, it's the home of V. Rose, it's the home of Derek Minor,
Derek Watson.
Byron Jawan, and many, many others, okay? Both Reflection Music Group and RMG Amplify. So let me ask you this one, which is a tough one right after lunch. What are...
Am I gonna throw up?
And the theme I want to cover today is kind of, and I think all of our series have kind of covered this, but
yeah,
specifically on this one, man, like helping artists think like business owners, right?
Yeah.
What are the top 3 financial mistakes you
man,
see
if
artists
you ever bring
makes?
Derek, if Derek ever comes in, which I know he's planning to,
Yeah.
like this, you
This
guys
is one for him? Okay.
Well, it's for both of us, but I just think
he's passionate about it.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
part of his whole idea of music is financial literacy is a big part of him.
Yeah.
Like, he really cares about people winning.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like, before I answer that question, this is the most draining topic for me.
Is it?
Yeah, not because I don't like talking about it,
Yeah.
but because I feel bad sometimes for artists that do these deals. Like, so Amplify is in a unique position because we basically have built some careers out here, or at least amplified them.
Absolutely.
The name, right? So certain artists we've helped grow,
Yeah.
and taken them to a different level. And I think for them, a lot of them think of it as, oh, I'm gonna go from here to here,
Yeah.
right? And they start kind of taking the motion they've gotten from it and they try to turn it into something different, like to get another deal.
Right.
And that's their prerogative. When they're out of their deal, they're out of their deal,
Right.
like, but at the end of the day, a lot of times though, you didn't really give yourself a chance to experience the money you're going to make.
Right.
You don't really need the deal, right? If you're already getting support, if you're already getting money, if you're already getting pub support, if you're getting everything you need, right, and you're growing, you don't need to do anything else.
Right.
But there's just this constant, like, well, if I stand in front of that sign, will that change my life? Well, if I stand in front of that sign, will it change my life? We've stood in front of all the signs. It didn't change our life.
Right. Why do you think that is?
It's
Still.
I think it's just, I think it's the wanting to be validated,
Yeah.
the wanting to be seen, the wanting to be heard, to feel like you're moving forward. I don't think it's a bad thing. I'm not saying like, oh, if you're doing that, it's like, I get it. Like, everybody wants to feel like you see what I'm doing.
Right.
What you'll notice about me and my Instagram is I've been in a lot of places. I've met a lot of people. I've done a lot of dope things with people, but I don't post about it.
Yeah.
Because part of it is I don't really like doing that. But second, I don't really want that to be the story. I want Amplify to be and RMG to be the story.
Same.
And I want me to be brought in, because you value what I can do,
Yeah.
not where you've seen me,
Yeah.
right? So I can go anywhere and be anywhere and stand in front of anything and do whatever, but it's not worth my time. It's not going to change my bottom line. It's not going to change what I can get done for anybody.
Yeah.
And most of the people in the industry that are really moving things, that are really shaping things, are not doing that.
Seen.
You don't even know them.
Yeah.
Like, they are way beyond your reach, right? So when you do that stuff, you're just playing a different game. You're playing the game they dressed up for you. They know that you want to stand in front of that sign. And this isn't like aimed at reach or whatever. It's just labels do that.
Yeah.
That's a label thing.
Yeah.
It's not that's not just a reach thing or an RMG thing
Or Capital
or
CNG,
whoever.
right?
Yeah.
All of them. Yeah.
Down the line, right?
Yeah.
It's just, but the thing is though, is that it's a moment for you to sign a deal, so it's exciting, you know.
Right.
But the thing I always hate to see is afterwards you watch the signing happen, then it's like, check on that artist a year later, right, and see where they're at, and that's usually when it's hard. The money runs out. They've had a chance to test the market. The buy-in for tours start to not happen. Like, the aggressive spending from the label starts to slow down because they don't see the margin they're looking for.
Yeah.
There is no red button you can push.
Yep.
That's typically when we see the complaints. You know, oh, my deal sucks. Oh man, it's not fair. And it's like, nah, you got an advance against your royalties.
Yep.
You probably sold part of your pub to do it. as well. So now you own nothing except for whatever you brought with you. And in some of these cases, they're bringing their catalog and letting them recoup off the catalog, right? So, which if you get a big enough deal, that's not a problem, you know. But if you get a deal that's like 20, 30K, that's gone. I mean, think about this. If you're working a job right now in America making, I don't know, $15 an hour, which is on the low end, I guess, these days, right?
Yeah.
So if you're making $15 an hour,
right,
in a major city or whatever, and what is that you're bringing home? Maybe
that's 38 a year.
Yeah. You're making less than 38 a year once you sell all that off. Like once you say take it, because they're going to recoup against your end.
Yeah.
So when you're in an all-in deal, it's always going to be a 25, 75.
Yeah.
That way.
Yeah.
If you're in a distro co-op, it starts from 50-50 up.
Yeah.
Right. So your chances of recouping go way up. But so that's what I'm saying, man. Like that's the part for me that's triggering. It's hard for me to see that.
Right.
Because I know that I'm watching the artist blossom. And now there's a potential they might fold.
Yeah.
And then here's the other part about those deals. Like you're in a room with people and you're new to the game. I've been here a while. I know how this works. I've seen it. I've been in it. I've been the guy affected by it with Derek and other artists.
Right.
And, you know, all these people move around. Look, your A&R wants to be bigger. They want to do more. They want to get promoted, right? And if they can get promoted, they will. And that A&R is now done with you. Like they're on to another venture.
On to another thing.
Or they'll go to a different label and you stay.
Yeah.
Right? Or the GM that signs you, he takes a job or she takes a job somewhere else and you stay. So the office changes. They don't really care as much as they did. The vision starts to go away. So when you sign a deal, you're signing for someone's vision. You're signing because someone believes in that office in you, and they're behind you until they're not. And so it's scary when you do that. You know, it's a relational thing, and sometimes it works great and it's amazing, and the A&R you got really cares and they're killing it for you, and they're, you know, and they're alley-ooping you. But most of the time when I see these guys sign or anyone sign, they've known the A&R maybe 2 months.
And what's the financial mistake in that kind of drives you a little crazy?
Well, one, you're probably not going to own nothing, right? I mean, you might, but if you come in with nothing to offer, really, you're not going to own anything. You know, you might own a part of your pub, or they might do a release. It depends on how good you are at negotiating and how bad they really want you.
Right.
But what labels will do is at some point, if the negotiation starts to get too complex, they'll back out because it's just too much money to figure it out. Like they have a standard way they like to work, and you know they have wiggle room every time, but they have red lines. So like it's like, oh, they want that? Nah, we're not doing that.
Yeah,
you know, and you know, so then you know we get into, well, does the artist want it bad enough to lose that to get it? And now you're faced with go back to work or do this label thing.
Well, wait a minute.
You know,
is the assumption that once you get a deal, this is now full time for you?
Has to be.
Yeah.
If you're going to be succlously
to have enough to be generating enough material.
There's no way you can work and do it at the same time fully. Like you might be able to do a little part-time gig off tour cycle, but look, you got to go for it. You got to go for it.
How many people can make it in that first year? Like what? Because to your point, that upfront money almost reminds me of Derek's verse on Pressure. He's like, cash money running out, advance money running out. I mean,
no, it does. Yeah, fast, like super fast, and we've had to sit back and watch this for the last 7 years, right? Like just watch people do deals and know that it's probably not going to work out too well for them, you know, and because we know the people, we know the system, we know what their strengths are, and I guess, you know, with us, a lot of times it's like, what are you looking for? You know, this doesn't mean that we were pitching anybody, we weren't, but you know, we also kind of know, like, man, if you weren't in that deal, you probably would be all right. And then there's some that do the deal. Here's the deal. When you get in a deal, right, what you should do is this. If you're going to sign a deal, if that's the way you got to go, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not bad. But if you do it, don't get into a 360. First of all, there's no reason to be in a 360 right now at all.
I thought 360s had kind of faded out
they're still
7 years ago.
Look, if you see a label getting involved in touring, they're in a 360.
Yeah.
Right? So if you see a label involved in merch, right? So it comes down to, what do you need? You know, right now, any artist can do merch.
Right.
You can go on print. What is it? Printful, Printfly. I think is another one. I think Byron uses that one. You could literally test out your merch for free. You could build the store on Bamboozle.
Absolutely.
Drop ship. They buy
print on demand.
Make $8 a shirt.
Yep.
And then if you have one that's really selling, press up, take it on tour. Like you literally have a proof of concept method right there.
Right.
So like. Now, if you're not that kind of artist and you can't do that and you don't have a team to do that, that's when you go into the label. But you have to be the one to function it still.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not just gonna do it for you, right? They're gonna be there if you need them,
Right.
you know. So sometimes in those deals they'll say, hey, we'll give you a $5K merch budget,
Mm-hmm.
but everything you spend has got to come back first.
Right.
So let's see what that looks like in motion. So I've been on tours with our artists, taking other artists on tour with us,
Right.
gone out to the merch tables and seen people waiting and no artists. Asked the artist why.
Hmm.
The artist says, well, I don't own my merch. What's the point?
Wow.
So it's
Wow.
like, they're not really worried about it. Like they'll sell it if they sell it, but they got to send the money back.
So they don't care.
They don't care. Yeah. So like if you're not making money on it,
Right.
you know, so that's why it's important. Like if you're gonna do deals, keep them out of your merch. Do business.
Yeah.
Right. So this is what I mean by do business. If you need help with merch, you tell your label, look, would you guys do a venture with me? I wanted to, or take part of your bread, work it into your budget. So in your mind, think, what does it take for you to get merch off? You probably need $5,000 once to really build it out, to get it going, and to have there for you to work off of.
Yeah.
But you don't need to let someone have 50% of your merch for the life of your deal.
Yeah.
Or the brand, because we're, you know, labels. If you do an all-in deal, most labels can work in. We have it in ours. We can work in one item
Right
on our storefront because we're involved in the likeness. We pay for the artwork. Like we want to make money off that stuff. We want to evaluate everything, you know. But the artist has to have room to make money.
Yeah.
And so what's happening is the label's saying, look, we're going to put ads behind this. So what's on an ad? Well, you can put your merch link in there, your booking link in there.
Yeah.
If you got ads running against that link, you should have all your data in that link so people can funnel in and get into where they want to go.
Yep.
But I've been to we had other tours where guys don't even set their stuff up. And they are making money.
Wow. So that's a big one. What's the second biggest financial mistake you see?
I think a mistake we've made, throwing money at problems to try to fix it. Right? So like, oh, this song isn't going. Let's put another $3,000 behind it and see if we can get it going. Right? I think sometimes the ego's in there a little bit. Like we can make this work. We can.
You believe in a song,
right?
You really believe in a song, right?
But there's a little bit of ego attachment, you know, because you want to show it'll work. You want that artist to look good. You want to look good,
right?
But man, some songs for whatever reason don't go, and some songs for whatever reason go, right? So like you kind of want to react in those. You do what you're supposed to do on the front end, build it out, put ads behind it, run it like a normal release, and then if the song is picking up, then you know you got one.
Yeah.
Then you push it. Right. And then, you know, with like radio and stuff, you can go back and build out with that too. So like you can keep running the ball with the song. But yeah, I think throwing money at problems, I you know, artists constantly feel like if they had more money, they would solve their issues.
Gotcha.
And I get that because I think we all feel that way. But in music, what I've seen is guys overspend. You know, they build with the team. The team isn't paid a lot. And they get a little money and they feel obligated to pay these guys what they feel they're worth. So that the moment of clarity has come to pay them. But what they're not realizing is, hey, the label is just going to lift that record up a little bit more. But you got to engage with your market so that lift up is more money behind the record ad wise and stuff. So that's your opportunity to really sell merch. That's your opportunity to get booked. And I just see that being missed a lot. I don't see that happening. I see a lot of, I'm trying to run these numbers up. We're still talking about how many streams. We're still talking about monthly listeners.
Right.
Man, the last 3 shows we've done at South by, monthly listeners was not a part of the conversation. Not once. Nobody cared. What they cared about was their social following, their engagement, and do they at least have new music out and is at least performing? But you know, the monthly listener thing is a slippery slope for agents to book shows.
Right.
Because you could have 1 million monthly listeners or 2 or 3 or 4, but show up and 30 people buy tickets because they're not really, it's all generated off of sync or, you know, streaming streaming bots or playlists or whatever, right? Like you can dress that up. And so most people that book shows are not involved in music that way to know all that stuff. So it just takes them a couple of times to be screwed by someone that had numbers like that with no fanfare, and they promoted it. I've seen it. I've seen guys promote shows heavy, and I went to a show at South by in particular in 23. Yeah, 23.
Yeah,
And there was one of the shows was like an influencer show.
Mm-hmm.
It was like just all influencers, like heavy, like millions of followers. You
Yeah.
know? And man, there was no one there. No one there. There was a guy at the bar who I think is always there.
Yeah.
And a couple people moving around, but it wasn't like, you would be thinking, oh, this is going to be, because at the end of the day, you still got to have a relationship. The promoter still has to be able to promote it. And South by has a pretty good internal promotion tool.
Yeah.
So people have to be looking for it.
Gotcha.
And then click on it and save the show. So it's tricky, man. Like, you want all of it to be working.
Yeah.
Right? You want the numbers, you want all of that. But the numbers are just numbers now. Like, we have to be able to, the industry is evolving or revolving back to the BNC format.
Yeah.
The fans want to touch you. And they like it when you chart. They like it when you get playlists.
Right.
They like it when that's cool stuff, great stuff to post, sign record deals, and all that's fun for the fans. But they really want you
to be engaged.
Right.
Yeah. Really
those are like moments, but they really want you as an artist,
Gotcha.
to get to know you better. So I just hate when I see money being spent on things other than that. Like, at the end of the day, what you should be caring about is, can I get people to come see me? And can I get people to buy my merch? Can I get them to spend $100? Can I get, 50,000 people to spend $100 a year on me?
Right. So number one, deal structure. Number two, pouring bad money out after good money. Or is it good money after bad money? Whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Man, the advance is tricky, man.
Yeah.
I just hate when I see guys. I saw a couple deals last year that were really rough.
Yeah.
One of them I actually helped out and got involved because it could have been better and we made it better. But even in that deal, like, I just felt like, man, I don't know how long this money's going to last for this guy, because it goes, man. Like, you don't realize it because you're thinking about it in the terms of, I got freedom, I can go do all these things, they're paying for all this stuff, and then one day you realize they've been using your budget to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're in deep with these people. You're 150, 200K deep, and all you dropped is a couple singles, and
you got to have a lot of streams to recoup that, boy. I mean,
a lot. Yeah, you got to sync, stream.
Yeah,
and then you start realizing, oh wow, I'm not even a priority. So if I want to keep it moving, I'm going to be on timeout.
Yeah,
and labels are corporate. They're not like, with us. You can hit me up and get an answer because I'm attached to it. But if you're at, a corporate label structure, they're going to tell you to hit the business office. Business office is going to say no.
Yeah, just like that. What's the third? What's the third one?
Man, as far as money's concerned,
financial matters, right? Top three financial mistakes. What's the third one?
Overpaying for production and support.
Huh?
Yeah, I think there's some people, man. They in today's era, guys want to give out splits a lot, and that all really started because of DistroKid. I think they were the first ones to really offer you to be able to send splits off, and it's a cool model. Like, I think it's dope because when look, when you're first getting started, you don't really have anything, right? So, I understand the math back then. Like, if it's me in Kingston, 50-50 makes sense. Why not? Okay, bro. Like, it's just me and you, 50-50, right? But it's actually not supposed to be that way. So, the 50-50 is the pub side because we both wrote the song.
Right.
But the person that's going to make the most on the master side is the one that's investing the most money. Right. So if I've paid for the recording, the production, the marketing of the record,
artwork,
the packaging,
all that,
the distribution's going out, the pitching, the team that does the work, we own that.
Right.
If that's the deal we're in.
Right.
Right. And so when you're an artist and you get your team used to, here's your half, right? Man, when you sign a deal, that becomes very difficult because your half starts to get a little smaller, right? So now you get into and that's if they want to do it.
Half of a half.
Half of, even less.
Yeah.
I mean, half of 25.
Yeah.
So now you getting this
12
and
and
that.
a quarter, 12 and a half, and they getting 12 and a half.
Yeah. And then the advances are together. So if you got when producers get upfront money, that's an advance. You're not supposed to get paid up front as a producer. So if you're getting an advance, right, if someone says, here's $5K, what that's really supposed to do is for your time, doing the work, getting selected. So $1,500, $5K, whatever the standard is today, that comes out of the artist split.
Right.
So if the artist says, hey, I'm going to give you 3 points on this out of my 25, You don't get that until that's recouped as part
Right.
of the song.
Right.
So I just think that before you sign a deal, you should really research how deals work, how it
Yeah.
affects your team,
Yeah.
how it's going to affect everyone around you. Can
Yeah.
you keep your team in this deal? Is there enough money in there for
Yeah.
everybody else? Like, if you're not making any money, your management's not making any money. You know, and sometimes managers want to get you signed so bad because they want to get a piece of the advance. It's
Right.
part of their hustle. But once they and technically, they're not really supposed to.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to get a piece of the advance. Like most of the time, management contracts usually say that, or tour advancing at least.
Yeah.
So, but that's depends on the manager.
Right.
But that's the most money they make off the artist when they get those deals. So they get that deal, and then what's the thing that's going to propel the manager, have the manager help propel your career? I mean,
Right.
So what happens next? Like, so I just think, man, like every time I hear about a manager being involved, every time I hear about this, that, and the third, I always just be like, okay, well, what's happening? You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And the artist just doesn't ever. If the idea is I want a deal,
Yeah.
there's 1,000 people that are willing to go try to get that done for you. And the only kind of deal you should ever trust is the deal where the A&Rs are coming to you like, let's sit down and talk about your career.
Yeah.
But if it's a hard sell through a manager, or something like that, it's probably not going to be a very good deal.
Yeah.
Probably going to be a $20K deal, 4 albums.
Yeah.
Something very, 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 label friendly.
What would you say in terms of the importance of what artists owning their catalog?
I mean,
Independent. Let's just stay independent for a second. Before you even go to a major or I'm sorry, to a label, because when they go to a label, I know a lot of labels who take a hard stance on thou must bring their catalog, right? What's maybe actually let's talk about that scenario. What's the artist's position, right, or should be their position in terms of keeping their catalog or not?
I think every artist should at some point in time try to get to where they're owning a part of their catalog, right? There's different kind of deals. We have some guys that are in deals where we own. We have some deals where we don't own, But it really depends on what we're putting into it and what they need from us. So I think for any artist, if you need that, it's okay for a time. But eventually you should get to the place where you own and buy it back, right? Like, look, you could buy your stuff back. You can, you can make it a part of your deal.
Yeah.
You can negotiate those things in. Ownership is tough though. Especially if a label really invested heavy.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to pull it away.
Mm-hmm.
But there's always a dollar value someone's willing to think of for ownership.
Yeah.
It's just going to be based on how much money are we going to lose over time, and is it worth it, and what's the risk, and business is business. But I would say any artist that's young, if you're in a deal where you don't own that, but you're own something, right? At least own publishing, because then you're getting that part of it. Then you have control.
Yeah.
If all you own is writers, you have no control of that song. They don't have to ask your permission for anything.
What percentage of you people you do think, because I've seen this more often than I expected to, that they have not set up a publishing company.
I know.
They've only done their writers.
I know.
And you say publishing company, they say, no, here it is. Here's my, no, that's your writers.
Right.
What's your pub in the IPI? And I go, what are you talking about?
My favorite ones when they send me TuneCore. It's an administrator.
I've seen that too, right? So,
yeah.
So I guess I shouldn't have been surprised, but I was actually surprised over the last year or so how many artists don't have.
Well, that's why we started our admin company.
Yeah.
Man, for like 2 years, I was like helping dudes out, opening their accounts up for them.
Yeah.
And we had our end of year meetings, and I'm like, we might as well just start an admin company because we're doing so much work already.
Yeah.
Like we might as well do more. And pub's hard because, I had one artist tell me one time that was leaving, well, I can do my own PROs anyway. And that's not what admin is.
Right.
But at that point in time, I was like, sure. Right. But
I don't feel like debating this.
It's like, I'm not going to keep I'm not going to fight for this. Like,
right.
You don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. But
right.
At the end of the day, you want everything administrated, right? So, and what admin does is it's a company that comes in and they're behind, they're kind of like a back office for your pub. So what they're going to do is come in and go, hey, we're going to get your MLC money, your neighboring rights, which is like international, and we're going to get your pub done. Your writers will come through your writer's account. Everything else will come through this.
Yep.
And it saves you a lot of time because the MLC is complex.
MLC and the neighboring rights. I mean, you don't. I mean, do you really have the bandwidth?
And this includes Harry Fox.
Manage that, right?
Right.
Right.
I remember getting Harry Fox letters all the time for records we had, and I was like, "What is this? I don't even get why we're doing this." you want to opt in for this? I'm like, yeah, I guess, and I would hit.
Is that money?
Yeah, exactly. Peloton was one of them for a while.
Right.
So I hit our admin people. They're like, oh yeah, we got that. Don't worry about it. I remember one time U2 had a settlement, man. We got like $5,000 out of the settlement because we were administrated. If you're not administrated, there's a lot of things you lose on,
Right.
And so people misunderstand it though. They think it's like, well, I could just log into BMI and put my stuff in there, ASCAP, Well, one, I've seen mad information go out about that too. So with BMI, they will collect your publishing. They'll wrap it under your writers. But your writers and your publishing is not separated, which means that if you ever wanted to leverage your publishing, you cannot because you don't have it separated.
Right.
Right. So now you don't have the music business has 7 incomes built into it automatically.
Yeah.
Which is the model to be successful as a business person. Right. So you got publishing, writers, you got performance, you got master royalty, you got sync money, you got merch, and you got touring.
Right.
And there's probably like 4 more.
Right.
So, or something like, there's more than that, right? But those are the big ones.
Especially if you're a creative. I mean, influencer and creative.
But think about it. Now you're creating music.
Right.
And you don't have time to worry about those things, right? For some people, they're a headache. Like some people get headaches thinking about, I got to register my song. Because it's not the fun part of it. It is for me. I love the numbers. But for an artist, it's like,
Absolutely.
And then the arguments start and all the weird stuff.
Absolutely.
People not understanding and, so publishing creates a lot of arguments. Sound exchange creates a lot of arguments because people think they're the same and they're not. Sound exchange is separate. You got to have an LOD for that.
Absolutely.
You don't have to be involved in that. The artist does not have to give you anything if they don't want. But publishing is standard and you have to give that.
Yep.
And you for sure have to give other people their publishing. So I see a lot of janky stuff try to fly through sometimes with that.
Yeah.
And I'll try to educate, be like, nah, you can't do that. Like, you got to do this. Well, why? They didn't write. Like, I remember one time someone was like, they didn't write on Neil. They're not a songwriter. I'm like, they're a producer.
Right.
That's a songwriter. Composer of the beat.
Yeah.
It's not the old days where they sit down like, Beethoven and write the notes out. But if you play that through a music, reader, it's going to create a whole like music file for you with the written, written tones and instruments and everything. So anyway, so yeah, that's the big thing, man. The publishing, I think, for people is something that I run into a lot of problems.
It's like a black box. It's like a black box that wicks people out sometimes when you start talking about it, right? Because it's
they get defensive, a lot of and a lot of times because they don't know.
Yeah, I
had one person tell me it's not fair to talk with you about this because I don't understand it. I was like, bro, I'm not ever gonna. I'm just trying to help you understand it.
Right.
Like I'm on your side.
Right.
I'm trying to help you understand so you don't feel like that.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't that long ago where I didn't get it, and I had Lynn at Music Services busting my head every time I turned something in. Like, how do you have 200%? BMI wants 100 to 100. No.
Right. I mean, I don't know about you. It took me some time. Well, I went to Berkeley. Was last year? Yeah. And one of the Berkeley classes was publishing, right? And I thought I was pretty good. The more we went into it, I'm like, Lord, have mercy. I mean, it's just there's a lot of details in there. There's a lot of details. I'm literally, bro, I don't know about you. Sometimes I'm trying to understand how money flows. I draw out the T accounts, the T and the debit and credit on each side. I'm trying to calculate it all across because just visually I need to see something like that. It was super helpful, but it also helped me understand why artists have such a hard time understanding it, right? Because it is super complicated.
Well, and it's also your art. Right?
Yeah.
So think about this. You created this song.
Yeah.
You got excited, put someone on the song with you.
Right.
Now, because you did that person has a right to the song.
Right.
And yes, it's your song, but they have a right to a portion of that song.
This is a whole nother problem, though, right? That I see a lot is no discussions of how the business is going to be handled up front. So then you're on the back end, and the producer steps up and goes, "Oh, I take 50% of pub," and the artist says, "What are you talking about?"
That's standard.
That's standard, right?
Yeah.
That's. Well, wait a minute. And then the other songwriters go...
We're just talking pub, but they mix it up with mechanical.
Yes.
They start thinking, well, I'm not giving you 50% of the master.
No, I'm not saying that. No, we're talking publishing. Right. I get 3 points on the master, right? But on the publishing, I get 50%. And then the other writers, you'll say, well, what about the writers? Well, I told them to get this on the DSPs, but what about the songwriters portion? They wrote a song. Well, I don't know. I said, I think the other person's expecting... to get songwriters pieces. Like let's go back.
So
and ask
the
question.
writers and pub are even.
Yeah.
Right? So your writers and your pubs are 50-50.
Right.
If you're 50-50, it's 50-50. So If it's just a writer and a producer, then it's going to be writer, producer, 50-50 on both sides.
No, I'm talking about in the case where there were other artists who rapped on the song.
Oh yeah, that's going to be another.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Those splits are different, right? So how you going to handle the splits on the songwriter side?
So what you're supposed to do, what you're supposed to do is, and some people do it. It really doesn't matter. Like, you can do it how you want if everyone agrees on it, right? But mathematically, what would make the most sense is it starts off as 50% for the writer, 50% for the producer.
Correct.
If the producer brings in a guy that does drums, he gives a slice of his 50 off.
Right.
If you have someone do the hook, you give a slice.
Exactly.
And it's built that way on purpose to make it easy.
Right.
But of course, no one knows that because it's something anyone can just pick up and start making music. So when that finally comes up, you're like, I remember the first time I had to think about it, it gave me a headache.
Yeah.
So
I finally developed a spreadsheet template, man, that just helps me, just break it down, because the differences between, listen, once you start talking about the 3 buckets, DSPs, right, the masters, and sound exchange, and that whole thing can be complicated sometimes because it's 100% on the rights on the side, it's 100% on the artist side, right? And then you go to the publishing, you can see the artist heads just spinning. Like, what are we doing? Yeah,
it's a tough concept, man, and it's because what helps me have grace and relax is I understand that this is their baby.
Yes,
they made it. They feel like it's theirs.
Yeah,
and it's tough to understand, like, hey, the producer made it with you. You chose the beat,
right?
But the producer made the beat,
right?
You had someone write the hook. You helped curate the song,
right?
But that person wrote the hook, so it's your master,
right? You
get to own it, but they get to make money with you for life on the song unless you somehow buy them out, right?
Right.
And sometimes people do get bought out. And by the way, it's different wherever you go, because if you go to Universal and do a sync project, they're going to say, hey, we own it. We're going to give you writers.
Right.
Right. But we're going to give you this up front because the volume is so high and the visibility is so high.
Right.
That's the start of their negotiation is we're going to give you all this.
Right.
So this is what we get.
That's right.
And we're paying for everything.
Yeah.
So it just really depends on the situation. And unfortunately, man, a lot of artists don't get a chance to experience that, so they don't know that's normal. Yeah. And so when you start talking like that, man, you lose people.
I think it's important for the artists to really have those conversations up front. And I think one of the things that I don't know about you, but one of the things I've noticed since Apple kind of put those new provisions in where they want all credits listed out, including optionally, right, who producer credits, mix master credits, and whatnot. Some of the mix and master guys are stepping up, saying, you know what, I want a point on a master side, right? And so it's stacking up more people, is I guess my point, right? Which makes it for the artists, you can almost see a level of depression start to kick in, like, well, how many people am I splitting this with? Yeah. And that is a part of your upfront conversation.
Yeah. I mean, I was talking to someone today about it, like they were having a hard time with a writer on a song, and I said, man, this is how you figure out who you want around and who you don't. If they're going to be difficult to deal with, they're going to be difficult all the time.
Right.
And there's some people, they're just very difficult. It's how they think. It's a maturity thing. Yeah. Right. I'm not saying you're immature. I'm just saying in business, you're not mature. Yeah. Like, you don't understand. Like, it's like when I first started making beats, I didn't want no one touching my beats. I don't want you touching it. I don't want you changing it. I don't want you the first person outside of the guy that taught me that I let re-engineer any of my tracks was Derek.
Gotcha.
And I had to get used to it. Yeah. And start to look at music differently, like, oh, more people involved, collaboration. And now I see the other side of it where when we deal with a guy that's like that, it's like, he's green, so he don't know.
Right.
And, that when someone's green, it's like the threshold there is like low. It's like, we'll give them a chance to see how this goes. If it don't go well, we'll move on. Right. Like to work with someone else. But there's just not enough time in the day to sit down and hammer out every last split. Like, it's all standardized. Like, there's some labels you walk in, they got the splits up there, like split sheets already. And producers, hook writer, everyone's already filled in. You just got to fill in who did it. Right. And obviously, if a song is like massive and the hook really does something, you can be like, hey, can I get a couple more points on that? Right. And mostly everyone would probably be like, yeah. But the standard setup is that, so you have a framework. Exactly. And, I just can't believe how many convos at this point in time, with all the information that's available, how many convos I have where people are just mystified on music and business. And this is why bad deals happen, right? Yeah. They happen because you don't know about the splits. Yeah. You don't know about the recoup. When we signed our first deal, we had recoup. Yeah. I didn't understand what that meant. Yeah. I didn't even know we had a recoup.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I was depressed.
Wow.
Once I found out how it worked, I was like, we're never going to recoup.
We're never gonna make money.
And we haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just, it's like you on
Yeah.
that record. But, on the end of the day, like that's why when we do our deals now, we're the label,
Yeah.
right? If we do any kind of deals where we're recouping, the splits are higher for us because we run more things. And we let them handle some stuff that we need support on, but we do the most of the work, so we get to, the lion's share of everything, and we own everything.
Yeah.
And I would take this route again, for sure.
Yeah.
Because when you own everything, you have flexibility. If you don't own it, man, I hate to say it, you're just not the boss.
Something to invest up front. You're gonna have to give up something to get going.
Yeah.
So, but
that's what I'm saying. When you're young,
road.
you just kind of build out, get help, get support, get money put behind you. But as long as you own something,
but it's good to game plan it too, right? Because at some point, that's the other question is when you're getting the money and you're cash flow positive, how much of that profit you taking versus you're reinvesting?
Mm.
That's a question I have too. When you do get it, what are you doing with it?
Yeah, I know we reinvest constantly.
Well, same. I mean, but a lot of times people. Just like we said before, sometimes people get in and finally say, okay, I got a list of things I've been waiting to buy. This is a come up.
And at the end of the day, that's their prerogative.
That's their prerogative.
I just hope you have a plan for how you're going to sustain after. Like, look, every one of us as a younger person, well, I won't say every, but when I was young, I'll talk about me. When I was young, like I definitely made dumb decisions with money.
Sure.
Bought stuff I probably shouldn't have bought. Not totally dumb, but I could have been more patient.
Sure.
If money coming in is exciting, it makes you want to spend it right away on things that you just want to go do for fun. Like I always see dudes taking trips and, I get it, but it's like, man, you're really just getting started.
Right.
Your story is just starting to really begin at that point.
Right.
And what you probably should do is get to work right away.
Right.
Like you should build it out, get to work. Take your breaks. For sure.
Right.
Enjoy what you've deserved.
Right.
But don't blow it, man, because all that's going to happen, especially if you're married, all that's going to happen is when you're broke, why did we go on that trip?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the one truism about life, man, there have been so many studies on this, is people look back sometime and say, wait a minute, how did I start this job at, whatever, like you said, 15 an hour? And then I got up to, over 5 6 years to 30 an hour.
Right.
How come I'm not feeling the impact of that? Well, what happens is you spend up to your income.
Mm-hmm.
It just naturally happens. You
go from the Nissan Sentra,
right,
to the freaking BMW.
Not even that. Sometimes just eating out more,
a lot more,
buy more Amazon
look how much it costs
purchases.
Now. If you eat out now at a decent restaurant, you're spending $30 a plate easy.
Easy. Oh, that's entry level.
No alcohol.
Yeah,
you get alcohol involved, it's $100.
Any sit down place?
That's a B place.
Sit down B.
You
place.
go to a steakhouse,
right? Forget about it, bro. It's $150
at least.
You know what I'm saying? Easy. And so my point is, one of the things I would encourage people to do is to seriously think about when that money comes in, having it go into a business account.
Yeah.
And taking a distribution every so often, right? Because then it's a conscious thing of, no, this is my business money. I want to keep it separate from the household money.
Yeah.
Right? I'll pay my tithes, right? Let's assume you're a tithe payer. But then with the rest of the 90% saying maybe 40 stays, maybe 50 is a distribution to me. But that way it's a conscious decision of I'm paying myself from the music company versus it's just regular household income. I think you got to segregate it.
No, you got to. And even on the distribution side, like one thing that we've really learned about the label is you get taxed heavily on distribution.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's almost better if you build the LLC out, S-corp it,
and
then pay yourself through that and include taxes. So
Absolutely.
That was the biggest mistake I made. When I went from being, remember, I was Army, then contractor.
Right.
I always got taxes.
Gotcha.
Like, I never had to pay in because I was Army.
Right.
Didn't make enough. And a lot of Army money too, like the BAH and BS is tax free because it's not income.
Mm-hmm.
It's household.
Gotcha.
So you just don't pay it. It's kind of like the little trick they do to give you more money. You don't get taxed as much.
Gotcha.
On post either. But man, so I got used to that. My first year making money off the label, I didn't make that much. I got taxed $5,000.
Yeah.
It was the first time I had to pay, and bro, I freaked out.
Having the right to check. Yeah,
you know where I was when I found out?
Where?
Freaking Disney World.
Your accountant has no love for you,
bro. I was
no love for you.
I was sitting there having the time. Matter of fact, I think it might have changed my whole life because from that point on, I was never the same.
Yeah,
I was having a great time. They told me, and I just sunk. you know, and I just remember that was being, and I didn't know about taxes yet or
Right.
how to do payment plans.
Right.
Yeah, and I was like, all right, I'm never ever going to do that again. So how can I fix that? So I started paying in. Didn't know you could do that. Like you learn all this stuff
You
on the
learn.
go.
Absolutely.
That's why it's CEOs because you're literally learning all areas of the job,
Absolutely.
and you have to function wherever you don't have a
It
person.
is my least favorite website to visit. Well, two, right? The FTPS, the Federal Tax Payment System,
Yes.
and the Delaware Tax Payment System, right? And I'm in that mug. It seems like either once a month or sometimes quarterly, and it's my least favorite website visit, bro.
I hate it.
But I make sure. I mean,
Yeah.
you do not want to fall behind on things like that. And then
No.
they stack up. And the same thing with your LLC. You may have to pay annual registration,
Mhm.
right? And all those
Yeah.
different types of things.
All you guys that are just taking money out of DistroKid and stuff, you don't have a tax on that. So you're basically paying yourself, and because you're not working a regular job, you're supposed to pay the full taxes on it. And if you don't, you're not going to get Social Security, Medicare. I mean, it'll be around for us. I know the joke is it won't be, but there'll be a form of it around.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you're not like the Social Security, if I don't know if you look at it, but it actually shows you monthly
Yeah.
or yearly how much you put in,
Right.
and then if you qualified and how much, and so if you're not reporting your taxes, you're kind of setting yourself up for no money on the way out.
Right.
When you're and those Social Security checks, man, like that, you don't want to just depend on that, but
Right.
it's helpful.
There's another financial benefit too, like, in terms of like financial literacy, setting up your LLC and having the associated bank accounts and whatnot starts to establish your business financial history.
Hmm.
So let's just say 5 years down the line, at Doc's point, you've entered a deal, you come out of a deal, or you've been growing independently, and now you say, well, man, you know what? I can see if we were able to secure $30,000, we might be able to really boost ourselves this way, right? Now you've got something to walk into the bank with. You've been an LLC for 5 years. You've been doing this kind of cash flow. You've got records in your bank account. You've been paying your taxes. And now you actually have a form of business credit
And
to start with.
and to double down, you got master ownership, publishing
Exactly.
ownership.
Got assets.
You've got lease contracts with your artists.
Absolutely.
So this is how everyone creates financial. So with us, what we always tell our artists is, look, if you got a deal with us, we've set it up to where you're able to leverage your music if you want while you're here.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're in year 2 and you've got 30 songs here and they're making this much, and there's a company that wants to give you an advance, advances don't go on your credit, right? So it's not like a regular loan.
Right.
There is a benefit to that.
Right.
But usually the deals are kind of sucky when it comes to how much you pay back.
Yeah.
There's the terms usually aren't super great, but it's not going against your credit. So when you're buying a home or a car, it looks like income.
Right.
If you walk into a car lot, I don't care if you got 500 credit, right? If you walk in with 10 grand,
Right.
they'll get you in the car.
Yep.
They'll figure it out.
No doubt about it.
Yeah, you got money to put down. It only hurts you when you don't have money to put down.
Correct.
So obviously I'm not saying go have a 500 credit score, but I'm just saying the more money you have in hand,
Absolutely.
the more people are like, okay, and then if they can look at your history and see good payment, well, now this goes against my 500 credit score, but good history and ownership and consistency, you got to build your whole,
Absolutely.
like, buying a home as an independent, you have to get your taxes done. You got to show growth in your tax revenue. You can't write everything off. My favorite people are these guys that run around, write everything off. And it's like, the more you write off, the less it looks like you make.
That's right.
And it's done like that on purpose.
And you're not building.
Yeah, you can't buy a house if you write everything off.
You're not building. So that's good, man.
I literally wrote nothing off
That's
this year
good.
except for like a couple things, just so I can see the highest amount.
Yeah.
So that I can buy a home.
So you can buy something. Right. No, exactly.
It's crazy right now.
Exactly. We wanted to touch on this financial literacy piece, and this is probably a preview. Some of the things you're going to see at that Amplify conference coming to you in 2026.
I'm really trying to figure out what, we have to do some research. We got to figure out, like, what do people want to talk about? I think, business ownership isn't something artists really get excited about all the time.
Yeah.
There's a special crop of people that get excited about that.
Right.
So it might be a track of like a publishing track, a business, I don't know. I got to
see. Okay, so let me. I don't know why I feel very passionate about this. It's not optional. If you're an artist, you're in business.
Well, that's true.
I'm sorry, you don't have to be excited about it. If you're an artist,
see, we're brainstorming, so this is good. Like, you're right.
If you're an artist, you're in business. You don't. It's like saying I don't want to pay taxes. None of us do.
Bro, let me tell you, this year it broke my heart. I'm like, come on, man. What?
I don't want to pay taxes. I don't want to clean up the kitchen. I'm with you. Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, this is a part of what comes with it. So if you're an artist and you're creative, I'm sorry, you're in business.
Yeah, and don't think you're going to get away with it. Let me tell you, the IRS has, over the last 5 years, they've automated a lot more.
Yep.
Doge is in there fixing it right now.
Yep.
And honestly, they've made it a little easier to navigate because these are kind of hard to find logins. Now it's all right there.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to maneuver, but they know they have all your income returns.
All your stuff.
They have all the forms that have been turned in against you.
You getting that YouTube monthly check? Because you've been blowing up YouTube channel? It's in there.
It's in there.
So you're in business, family.
Yeah, and they're going to come get you if you're not doing it. Like, I remember one time I did something, I volunteered at Rocketown or something. They ended up paying me like $1,500 for it.
Yeah.
And I forgot about it. And then I got a notice in the mail. It was like, hey, you didn't pay against this $1,500, so here's the penalty for what you should have paid.
And the interest, right? This is the other thing about it. When they come back on you, they come back with no grace. Here's the penalty. Here's the interest that accumulated.
Yep.
And sometimes they may not come back for years.
Yeah, they'll backdate it.
So they're backdating it. Okay.
Now, you sometimes can get them to...
You can write a letter sometimes and get them to, what is it, abatement? Abate it?
Yeah,
abate the interest?
I've had to fight back a couple times, but... You know, because there was a couple of times where they were wrong.
Right.
And we had to get it fixed.
You'll pay for it, though, even to get the abatement. The time you'll spend writing letters or the hour you'll spend on the phone waiting to talk to a representative.
Sending the mail, certified.
Yes, bro. So all we're trying to do
stress.
is encourage you. We're trying to encourage you to embrace business ownership, okay?
I think last year I saved us about $8,000.
Yeah.
And having to fight back on some stuff that wasn't right. It was all mixed up from like 2020.
Gotcha.
That year was crazy for taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they had us in as a C corp, not an S corp. But we had proof of turning the change in 2 years prior.
Gotcha.
And so thankfully I had that in my records. So I pulled it.
That's the other thing, family. You have to keep great records.
If it says IRS, put it in the folder.
You have to keep great records. Listen, most of us are digitally recording our lives anyway. Just record all your receipts, record all your paperwork. If you don't like to hold in the papers, man, scan it and put it on in your cloud, but you got to keep records, family. You're in business. You are a CEO as an artist.
Yeah.
So we just want to encourage
if you want to be called that, a lot of responsibility comes with it.
Absolutely.
You know, and you're responsible for what you do and don't do. But do not screw around with taxes.
Yeah.
Don't play with the IRS knows, and if they don't know, they'll find out. And one day, it'll be nice and sunny outside. Right. You'll be outside having a sweet tea with the wife, watching the boy play on the swing set, and you get the $10K. You always check, and you're like,
bruh. Y'all heard me ask Doc earlier what was the top 3. Clearly, you can hear the passion about taxes. I'm gonna say that fits. If it's not a top 3, it's definitely a close fourth.
Ask Derek about the taxes.
It's definitely a close fourth.
He hates it way worse than I do, but it's just hard to watch, bro. Listen, y'all, when you really make money, them taxes are rough.
Yeah,
it's hard to believe, but you really got to put about 25% to the side, man.
That's right.
It sucks.
That's right.
Yeah.
You don't have to like it. You just have to understand it and do it. And none of us like it.
But I just think, man, like as an artist, you know, if people are interested, this is what I'll say to the artists, like, this is so hard. It's so hard for people to do this because it's so scary to think you're going to miss an opportunity. But if people are interested right now and you're starting to get hot, they're trying to get in before you get too hot. Because if you get too hot, it becomes too expensive to sign you, and they don't have the budget. So they're trying to get in now, so they can get you. They can buy low, and be a part of the process when you go high. And then you were going to get there anyway, but now they're a part of it with you, so it feels like it was all done together. Right. So like, that's what you got to watch out for as an artist. You know, it's like make them honest. You know, if you're getting hot and there's only a couple pieces you have that are missing, maybe you're missing the playlist support. Maybe you're missing the structure and where all your stuff is supposed to be. Maybe you don't have the time to register your publishing or administrate all that stuff or whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Like that's understandable. That's why labels exist. But that's what labels are more now is teams. It's less of let's jump in and try to mold you as an artist and more as let me try to mold you as a business person.
That's right. And less big A&R engines and more holistic engines.
I mean, to be honest, like you can tell the A&Rs are missing because the music is not as good, right? The filter is off. But if you're doing great in this climate, you may not need the A&R. You know, you just probably really need the business. And you know, the A&R is really for the artist that doesn't have the production, doesn't have the writing skills, but has the voice,
right,
or whatever. Like, you know, that's where the A&R comes in, or to give or to partner on a vision that they feel. You know, they can help with the cast with the artist. But I'll be honest, man, like I think there's a few careers that are starting to slide a little bit. And you're seeing less and less of like even at radio,
Yeah.
you're seeing less and less representation. You're
Yeah.
seeing more and more automation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's just this technology is kind of. I think hopefully we'll slow down the technology and get more human again.
Yeah.
Because you can see the effect it's having. Like everything just looks real.
Yeah.
Especially the AI stuff.
I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Well, listen, y'all, we want to encourage you, and let me say it differently to encourage you. Think of it this way: two things. One, be elated that God found you worthy to entrust you with sharing the gospel, and you actually earning some income for it. Just rest with that for a second.
Right.
Because most of us started with, and you probably did too, of saying, man, God, I just want to represent you. I just want to share your word. I just would love some people to hear it. I'm honored to be able to do it. And so now add to that, he's graced you to actually earn some income. Just like be joyful about that for a moment. Secondly, then shift your mind and thinking to, we don't own anything. We're stewards.
Mm-hmm.
We're stewards for the work. And so you want your Heavenly Father to be proud. You want to hear, job well done, my good and faithful servant. This is not exempt from that statement that you want to make. This is a part of the statement you want to make.
Yeah.
So just keep that mindset.
That's a good one to have. You know, I think, you know, just being thankful that you get to do this. And I had to do that again.
I have to do it often.
Yeah. I remember being a contractor being like, when can I just do music?
Right.
And when I really went for it and got into it, it was so hard that I'd forgotten that I've been wanting to do this my whole life.
I do it often, bro. I find myself often when I'm driving in the office in the morning, just thankful that I'm able to do exactly what I felt God built me to do.
Yeah. Now, it's crazy what y'all have built.
You know?
Yeah, this office here, like for those of y'all that haven't been here yet, you need to come out. Like, it's really dope. It's something that Trig built for the culture. This is our space. Like, everyone has a space. And anywhere you can go that has a channel this broad and this kind of platform, you should be doing it.
Yeah.
On your dime. Just come out. And because you're making money with this situation, you're getting supported. Like, these are things you come out for. Like, if you're touring, you should be, if you're going through Philly, you should be stopping through here. I would definitely stop through here. But Trig, man, to sum it up for us, man, this time around, I just think that we're a young culture still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And I think that we got to get to a place collectively where we just celebrate the wins and keep pushing.
Keep pushing.
And that creates momentum.
Yeah.
The community is not handpicked. Like this is the community. No, the community is all of us. Literally all of us.
Right.
You can't exclude people from the Christian rap community. It's
right.
whoever's in it.
That's right.
And then I just want to, and I think that's why we have some resentment, and some people feel they're not a part of it or not included. But man, you're as included as you want to be. If you want to go to a conference, go to a conference. Go build. Get out there and talk to people. Like get to know people and email and ask questions. And look, people are busy. They don't always have time to get back. But I'll tell you one thing, man. Like, it's crazy how many people take my number and don't actually hit me. Yeah, that's wild. Like, I'm for sure wild. This guy's gonna hit me.
Because if you gave it, that meant you saw something.
Yeah, and I was like willing to talk to him. Like, and sometimes I just feel led to get involved. Like, I just feel like God is telling me, like, I'm very empathetic. I don't know how I look to people, but I know inside I'm like this big hearted person that I just really care.
Right.
And everyone in Christian rap cares. Regardless of who we think the villains are or whatever.
That's
like,
right.
This isn't a crazy moneymaker.
Right.
Right. So there's nobody here really, there's maybe a couple of people that have made a lot of money, but like the overall is we could have made more somewhere else.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like there's some great business minds around here, like that could make money doing, I mean, I could just sell a pooper scooper on Amazon and probably make money,
Right.
But my passion is to see the culture win through hip hop and R&B and other ventures, to see the gospel. Yeah, I want to see an alternate form of the music.
Yeah.
I think all of us should be really caring about that, man. Our kids are growing up.
Agreed.
And they're seeing what's out there now.
Agreed.
This isn't going to get reversed. It's only going to get worse.
That's right.
And it's pretty bad now.
It's pretty bad,
I don't even know how we got here. I'm like, this is wild. Like, if you look at what's going on stage these days, it's insane.
Yeah.
It's always been there, but a little more covered up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what we're up against as a culture. We're supposed to be a fam. We're supposed to be together, and helping each other. And I'm guilty of that at times, being competitive.
Yeah.
But my heart is to see everyone succeed. And I think we all can. Like, there's enough room for everyone to be successful.
Definitely.
So, yeah, I think sometimes, man, people's dreams get in the way of great decision making.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. It happens.
Yeah.
It happens. Well, that's it, y'all. This was another episode of the Inside View. Trig, Doc Watson. Make sure you hit like. Make sure you hit subscribe. Share it with somebody. And again, we've got more episodes that we'll be shooting soon as well. We want your feedback or input for the Amplify conference. So just send me the email. I'll make sure he gets it. Trig@holyculture.net. Blessings, y'all.